Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Hasnah Ismail. Today I will bring you to the topic legal requirement for the sales and supply of veterinary drugs. What is veterinary drugs? Veterinary drugs refers to a drug intended for use in the diagnosing, curing, mitigation, treatment, or prevention of disease in animals. Veterinary drugs need to be registered with the authority to protect the health of the consumer or the foodstuffs of animal origins, as well as to ensure that the foodstuffs obtained from the animals treated with the veterinary product must not contain residues of the drug or its metabolite, which might constitute a health hazard for the consumer. The definition varies. The definition of the veterinary product may vary from one country to another. Okay. In Malaysia, under the Control of Drugs and Cosmetic Regulation 1984, a product means a drug in dosage form, in dosage unit, or otherwise for use wholly or mainly by being administered to one or more human beings or animals for medicinal purpose, meaning that in this case, the animal products are controlled under this Control of Drugs and Cosmetic Regulation 1984. The medicinal purpose also was mentioned as follows: that is for elevating, treating, curing, or preventing and diagnosing a disease or ascertaining the existence, degree, or extent of physiological or pathological condition, contraceptions, inducing anesthesia, maintaining, modifying, preventing, restoring, or interfering with the normal operation of the physiological function, controlling body weight, and also general maintenance or promotion of health or well-being. It's about law and regulation. The main act that controls the veterinary products in Malaysia covers by this Act, Poison Act 1952 revised 1989 and its regulations, Sale of Drugs Act 1952 revised 1989. Under this Act, there's regulation named Control of Drugs and Cosmetic Regulation 1984, revised 2006, and also Dangerous Drugs Act 1952 revised 1980. Besides that, there's also Animal Act 1953, Animal Feed Act 2009, Animal Feed Regulation 2012. There are 4 departments that control or regulate the veterinary drugs. And then the regulation for these veterinary products in Malaysia covered by NPRA, National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Authority, the Secretariat for Drug Control Authority, and then you see that from this diagram or this graphic that the schedule poison, as in the first schedule of poison in 1952, also non-scheduled poison, that is over-the-counter drugs, pesticide for internal use, pesticide for external use, that is for control for endoparasite, also were controlled under Drug Control Authority or NPRA. So besides the Department of Veterinary Services or DVS, control product containing animal feed, feed additives, and biologics. For pesticide board, this board controls the product containing pesticide as listed under first schedule of Pesticide Act 1974 for external use only. But if the product containing feed additives in combination with scheduled poison, this product will be regulated by Drug Control Authority. And then for the products containing pesticide ingredient in combination with the scheduled poison also will be regulated by the Drug Control Authority. The requirement for marketing authorization, for this requirement, we have to refer to the Control of Drugs and Cosmetics Regulation 1984 amended. amendment done in 2006. And then paragraph 7(1)(a), yeah, requires all products to be registered with the Drug Control Authority prior to being manufactured, sold, supplied, imported, possessed, or administered, unless the product is exempted under the specific provision of this regulation. So the applicant must apply for registration with the Drug Control Authority, and the applicant must be locally incorporated company and be authorized in writing by the product owner to be the holder of the registration certificate. The product registration holder or PRH responsible for all matters pertaining to the registration of the product. Yeah? And also, product must satisfy registration criteria with respect to the safety, quality, and efficacy. The data requirement. The product registration holder must submit data related to the safety, efficacy, and quality. Yeah, this is very important for the safety of the animals and also the consumer. So they must follow the maximum residual limit for the product, and then also the environment. The safety for animal is very important because the product or the metabolites can seep into the soil or water. Yeah, and then the efficacy should the data should show that the product is efficacious for that particular dose to prevent or to treat diseases, and also must be for specific target of animals, yeah, because it's different dose for different type of animals or species of animal. The indication the data should for efficacy also should covers for each indication or claim, yeah, and then it must be substantiated with the evidence or clinical data. For the quality, the data required for submission, protocol analysis, process validation, also stability data. This is the website of these NPRA, National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agencies. All the registration will be submitted online via this Quest3. This Quest3 is an online system for product registration, licensing, and marketing sampling. Okay. You can download the registration guideline for these veterinary products from the website npra.gov.my, and in this guideline it mentioned about the data required for submission. You can see here the data required to support an application is divided into four, yeah? Administrative documentation, that is part 1. Part 2 is quality documentation. Part 3 is the non-clinical documentation for safety and residues, yeah, and also part 4 for clinical documentation for efficacy, yeah. And then the data to be submitted will be based on each application type as follows. If the product is an innovative product, they have to submit all from part 1 to 4, yeah. And then, but if it's a generic product, yeah, the product registration holder only submitted this part 1, yeah, administrative documentations, and also part 2 is quality documentation. Okay, this is the flow chart of the registration process. Let's see. First, as the product registration holder, they must know, yeah, and understand the category of the products, yeah, because different type of product need different type of submission documents, yeah. So the method of evaluation, general and specific requirements, condition apply, and also if multiple or single application, and also the language. The language should be in Bahasa or English. So okay, the product registration holder will submit the pre-submission of application, and after at the same time the GMP inspectors for National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency can go and inspect the premise, the location. Yeah, it can be local manufacturing site or overseas. Yeah, and then after that, the submission, the product holder can proceed if it is what you call it, approved or satisfied with the authority. continue with the submission of application according to their group of products. And the product application will go through screening, screening process. If not satisfactory, it was sent or reject. Okay, and the applicant can submit again the application. If satisfactory, it will go through the evaluation by the group of experts, and after that, will go through the Drug Control Authority, where they will issue about the product status, whether it's been approved or it been rejected. If rejected, the notice of appeal will be sent to the production holder within 40 days, and they can appeal. But if approved, they have to go through this post-registration process, and the product will be given the registration number. And you can see here, the registration number here is MAL 1107-0001 HACERS. MAL shows the Malaysia, identity for Malaysia, and the H is for animal or veterinary products, and A is a poison. C is contract manufactured, is for export, and R is for repack, and source is the second source. S is source actually. Okay, let's go next. Okay, under this Control of Drugs and Cosmetic Regulation 1984, there was a licensing. There are three types of license issued by this authority: manufacturer's license, import license, and also wholesaler's license. The company must have a proper license before they start their activities. For example, they must have the manufacturer's license before they start manufacturing the product, and also import license before they start importing the products. And before they start supply the product by wholesale, they have to have wholesaler's license. All right. And the post-registration process, the maintenance of registration, condition for registration. For condition for registration, normally the authority may specify certain special conditions for registration for a particular product or group of products, or may amend any condition for registration. And the validity of the product registration is normally 5 years. And then the production holder must apply for renewal of the product registration 6 months prior to expiry of the product license. Okay. And then for post-registration activities, there are pharmacovigilance and also post-market surveillance. Under the pharmacovigilance, the production holder, if they registered for a new products, or new chemical entity, they have to report adverse drug reaction of the products to the Drug Control Authority. And also there is a subcommittee under the Drug Control Authority named MEDRAC. This committee will advise or review the Malaysian reports of the suspected drug reaction to the Drug Control Authority from time to time. And then under post-market surveillance, you can see here that market surveillance of registered product, and after that product complaint and product recall. The authority will take the sample from time to time of the registered product and look at the safety of the product. Is it still comply with all the quality aspects? It will continue on the market. If not, it will be the company or the product registered holder will be asked to recall the product from the market, even though if the product complains. This one, there's a form for this complaint, also product recalls. And then the user can complain about the products by using the forms and can submit to the authority. Okay, under Section 3, Sales and Supply of Veterinary Products, we have recording, labeling, and storage of poison and psychotropic drugs, substances. Actually, under this Poison Act 1952, there is a type A license issued for pharmacies to import, store, and deal generally by wholesale or retail, or wholesale only or retail only. So only the pharmacies are given this type A license to exercise all these activities. Import, store, selling by retail or wholesale. And also there is a retailer license, wholesaler license, and listed seller. This was in section 26. And a few sections were mentioned here, section 50 and 60. This is section 50 is about sale of poison by wholesale, yeah, and then section 60 is about sale of poison by retail. And then supply of poison for the purpose of treatment for professional men mentioned in section 19. Recording of poisons and psychotropic substances. If you supply the product at pharmacy through retail, yeah, or through wholesale, you have to have a record book. For example, before they dispense medicine, you have to register the product in the prescription book for the poison products. Yeah, this was mentioned in the section 24 of the Poison Act 1952. But if the product is a psychotropic substance, you need to register for each product. Yeah, so meaning that for each product they must have their own register, and then the register of this psychotropic drugs must be bound as a book, and must get written approval from the licensing officer, from state health director. And you must know that the register shall be kept for a period of 2 years from the last date of entry of such register. All right. Okay, this is the examples of this record. We have this prescription book, yeah, prescription register for psychotropic substances. We have also poison book, yeah, and also poison wholesale book. How about labeling? Before you dispense the medicines, you have to label the bottles or the container or the envelopes. Yeah? For this case, let's see. Labeling of poison as dispensed medicine under Regulation 12 or the Poison Regulation 1954 must contain all these particulars: name and address of supplier or seller, name of patient or purchaser, name of the medicine, yeah, adequate direction for use of such medicine, and also date of delivery of such medicine or medications. For example, here for methylphenidatic acid, you can see that you must have also statement here, because these are poison products, yeah, control medication obat terkawal. For the psychotropics products labeling under Regulation 28, the container of psychotropic substance shall be labeled, yeah, and there with a full name and address of seller or supplier, full name of the patient or purchaser, adequate directions for use of such psychotropic substances, the date when such psychotropic substances was sold or supplied, the name and strength of the psychotropic substances. How about the storage? Because we cannot just keep the products or the medicines anywhere that you like. For example, for the poison, you must keep all the poison and in a dispensary or in the retail premises, yeah, in a cupboard or drawer under lock and key. The key should be kept by authorized person. In this case, it's pharmacist. And then it should be not to combine with others. Yeah, it should be separated so that the customer cannot enter that area. This was regulated under Regulation 6 of the Poison Regulation 1952. And the storage of psychotropic substance, as mentioned here, it might be stored in a room, cabinet, safe, or receptacle which remains locked and except it is so far as may necessary to have such rooms, cabinet, safe, or receptacles open in order to carry out dispensing. You need to take the drugs from the locked cabinet or rooms to dispense or to compound the drugs, or you want to keep other psychotropic in that room, or you want to conduct a stock check of the psychotropic substances. I think with that, I end my presentation. I hope you will get some information, yeah, related to the veterinary products, about the law and regulation, or also about the sales and supply. Thank you so much for your attention.